I can't say this about season 4. It is going to be so worth the wait.
Nowhere, actually.
A wrecking machine. I'll take it.
I'm still figuring out my own style, Mark, actually.
It was great.
It took 2 minutes and I had to answer, yeah, go for it.
Are you sure you're not interested? I was like, don't ask me again. I can't refuse that twice.
In Holland, in one country.
Here is the YouTube.
She got me so deep and underwater and I drank it. That's not good.
You'll try chocolate from South Africa to Australia to England. It will taste so different.
So it's been really amazing that it's been with you after 10 long years.
The first title we were messing around with, we were going to call it Lockdown. Yeah. And then after a while, we actually kind of realised, God, this is dragging on a lot longer than what we thought it was going to be.
I didn't want to give people a reminder.
Our bass player has a band. We were like, let's go on the road, man. But and then it just came to a screeching halt.
We had to work on like how I was biting the carrot. Like I had to do it very purposefully, you know? You didn't want a weak bite, but you didn't want a bite that was too strong.
Someone jumps the stage and one of our techs just body slams him to the ground and you can see me kick him.
I guess I was too distracted. I was having too much fun. Never a bad thing.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, shut up. Hello. Hello, Mark.
So I'll stand here with you by my side, and I ask for your love.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts, based here in Seattle, Washington, in the United States of America. And thank you so much for joining me on this 11th, the 11th of May, 2021, which is a Tuesday. And again, thank you so much for joining me. It's really a beautiful day over here in the Northwest of the United States, and really looking forward to doing my interview in a few minutes here. And as always, I have a few housekeeping things. Tomorrow I have an interview at let's see, I'm just off my game this morning, at 11 a.m. with Kit Major, who is an indie pop type of artist, I would say. So I'm looking forward to talking with her. And then on Thursday at 4 p.m., I've got Katerina Nix from Chile joining me. And there's also some things already looking like Friday and Sunday. And then I already have things scheduled for next week as well, including the, if you want to call it, reunion of the Alice folks from 1 year ago. Next Saturday, the 22nd, we're going to all get back together with ourselves and Carl and everybody and just kind of talk about that tour, since it'll be the 1 year anniversary. I also have my second directors roundtable coming up next Friday, the 21st, and that's going to be with at least 3 film directors who have all directed different documentaries, and possibly 4. We'll kind of see where that goes. So if you follow me as Eclectic Arts Media, one word, on Instagram, that's where I post everything first. And then some of that information migrates over to Facebook, but not all of it. So some of it's going to be exclusive to Instagram. And if you're here watching this on YouTube, if you could subscribe to my channel, that's a huge help. I really appreciate it. And if you could like this video stream as well, that's a plus. And if you're on the Twitch side, if you could follow me over there, I always appreciate new followers and I will follow you back. And kind of make sure that the arts are getting out there to everyone involved. So that's going to kind of cover everything. And let's kind of get to our guest today, because I'm excited about this. My guest today is a new band project from Sweden. Their album Silver Lining was recently released just a little over a month ago in early April on Frontiers Music. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts Virtual Studio, Tezzi and Jan from Infinite and Divine.
Yay.
Hello, how are both of you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to start talking about the project that became a band and everything else related to Infinite Divine.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So for the uninitiated who maybe aren't familiar with the band, what's the timeline? When did everything kind of start evolving and coming together?
Well, it all started in 2019. Yeah. We met through mutual friends. I had moved to Malmö a year earlier than that. So we kind of met to move through mutual friends, and Jan had some tracks that he needed vocals for. So that's how it all began, actually. And then things just escalated and picked up the pace, and well, here we are now with a debut album released.
Okay, so 2019, and so Jan, you already had some tracks ready to go. It sounded like you had 4 tracks, if I'm not mistaken, that were pretty much already like ready to rock before Tezzi started putting some lyrics and things together for the rest of the songs. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so did you know what you wanted to do with those original 4 tracks? Were they just things that you had written and you just didn't know what to do with them yet, or were you specifically trying to find a certain kind of voice?
They were planned for another project, which not will be happen. So I think it was, I wanted to finish them, and I have other tracks that was not finished, and Tezzi, we finished them together.
Okay, all right. So Tezzi, when you first heard the tracks, what did you think initially?
I love them. It had been some time for me from I had been away from writing for a while, writing and creating music. It had mostly been singing covers, like troubadour, things like that, or backup vocals. So it was just such a, I felt it would be such a fun thing just to write and sing some hard rock metal music again. So I was really psyched when he asked me, and he sent me the 4 tracks and asked like if I would be interested and which ones I would like to start with. I was just instantly like, yeah, I want to do this. This is fun. I hope he likes it. And then I just continued.
Okay, and I have kind of a curious mind. What were the 4 tracks that were already done, completed, like you didn't put lyrics to?
It was actually, conveniently enough, the 2 first songs we recorded just to try out my voice was Infinite and Divine and I Feel Alive, which were the first 2 singles. And then we had Of the End of the World and While You're Looking for Love. Those were the 4 tracks with that was already finished with the lyrics and everything.
Those we sent to Frontiers.
Yeah.
And they wanted to hear more.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So
we have to hurry up.
So with that, having just said that, Jan, that they got to hear those songs and they wanted to hear more from the project. Was there other label interest at that time too, or was it strictly Frontiers?
It was just Frontiers we sent to.
Okay. All right. And so they're interested, then you're working on the other tracks for the eventual debut album. Was that during last year? Was that during 2020 then, or was that earlier in 2019?
19.
Okay.
Everything happened really fast.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you were finished recording the album, was that also at the end of 2019 there, or did it bleed into 2020?
No, it was the beginning of 2020.
I think February.
Yeah, and we finished with the vocal recordings, and then we had
the video.
Yeah, the video shoot, and so I think we handed everything in April 2020.
Yeah.
We were finished with everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so sounds like you finished everything, and then clearly if you turned it in April, then we were in the middle of all this stuff at that time. What were your feelings during that time of like, hey, we just turned in our album and now we're in this lockdown pandemic state? Did you think like, well, we don't know what else we're going to do with this? Or was it like, well, let's try to figure out some other things to get the name out there?
No, it was more like we kept everything on the ice and just waited until, because it's hard to promote something when we don't have anything out. We don't have the music out. We could do covers or things like that maybe, but it would be the wrong way to start and introduce Infinite and Divine. So we basically decided to hold off and wait and see when it would be released, and well, just trying to be patient and wait. The best.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've had the pleasure of interviewing quite a few music guests that had recorded or finished projects either in 2019 or 2020. So they're like, well, we might as well wait because there isn't much we can do with this yet, and we put too much work and effort into it to just kind of put it out there and hope for the best when they don't know when this thing is going to end. Yeah. So it makes sense that, the album came out last month, and now things are slowly starting to open up around the world. So hopefully that's like we were talking earlier, that will be the silver lining of letting things.
Yeah, it's a very suitable title.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was a very prophetic title for the album. And so, Tezzi, you mentioned that you'd kind of been away from like music and things for a bit when Jan approached you about getting involved with this. What is your music background?
My music background is well, I started early, special school with choir singing, more additional music than other regular schools. And then I started writing my own lyrics and melodies early as well. And at 16, I started working with a friend and colleague in my hometown. Started recording demos for him and started writing music. And then we started troubadouring when I was 17. So I've always been working at it, with it at some level. Periods of time I've had it as a full-time job, being out singing covers in different cover bands or backing vocals. And at points I've had it with another job as well, doing both. But so that has been the main part. And then I've had my own bands with original music on the side, trying to make something out of it. But that never really took off until now.
Okay, and I'm just also kind of curious, being a musician myself, what kind of influences you have vocally? Because again, like I mentioned pre-show, you have a real distinctive vocal style that's not necessarily common these days, which I love.
I think it's a mix of a bit of everything. Growing up in my teenage years, when you're really trying to like discover your own voice and what that is, I listened a lot to a Dutch singer, Anouk. She has a fantastic voice, but it's hard to say because I've tried not to think about sounding like someone, just trying to find my own thing. But of course, you get influenced about singers you listen to. But during that time, it was a lot of Alanis Morissette, Anouk, and then you had Queensryche and Tori Amos and Drain. I think I picked up bits and pieces from different singers, I guess.
Okay, that's nice that you mentioned Queensryche, since I'm here in Seattle.
I love Queensryche.
I can tell you a little side story. So before they got signed to EMI, way back in like '81, their first-time manager owned a record store here in Bellevue, Washington, and that's a place I used to go to. My mom would drive me to go buy the new heavy metal stuff at this little record store. And I remember Michael Wilton, Krista Garmo, and Jeff Tate had wandered in there just talking to their eventual manager guy about what was coming up. And it was so strange for me to eventually find out who they were because at that time I didn't know. And Queen of the Reich was starting to get played on local radio around here. So I thought, oh, that's that band that sounds like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. And they're from here, from somewhere in Washington. And it was those guys standing there.
I know you guys. But...
Yeah, I still have my original EP on the 206 record label that they put out. So I've been a long time fan for sure.
Well, I mean, it's my father's fault, or not his fault. I should thank him because that's his favorite band. So we have that in common. So I've seen them, I think, 4 times, and 3 of them has been together with my father.
Oh, nice. That's a great way to bond over especially such a great band like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jan, we know that you have an extensive music background and as a songwriter and producer and composer and that type of thing. So are you someone that is prolifically, you're always writing music, always writing new songs, or do you kind of just do it when you're inspired?
Pretty much always. Yeah, since 15 years back. I've not a couple of years back it's been most hard rock and metal, but I have into pop and G-pop and blah blah blah, different styles. But this is what I wanted to do.
Okay, and just curious, are you also a Queensryche fan too?
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise, we would never have started this project. Like, you're in Queensryche? No, I'm out of here. No.
Wow. Well, maybe maybe down the road or something, you'll do like a Queensryche cover just because you're both fans.
Yeah, that would be cool actually. If I dare, it's doing a cover from your favorite band. That's nerve-wracking and scary, but yeah, why not? It would be cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good songs to choose from.
That's true. There are lots of songs, and I know exactly what you're talking about when you're trying to cover somebody that you admire so much. That's like, that would be like if someone wanted me to do like a Gary Moore cover. I'm a guitar player, so he's my favorite guitarist. So I'd be like, I don't know if I can do it justice. I'll try, but
yeah, that's the thing. You want to do it justice. You don't want to ruin it or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like maybe I should just leave that alone and not go for there. But in your guys' case, I think it would be amazing to hear what you'd come up with, and also the song that you would pick from that band. I think that would be interesting. But one song that I really love on the album that stood out to me is the song that it closes with, which was Perplexed Perfection. Can you speak to that particular song? I really like it a lot.
Yeah, well, that was you're doing. No, but I really like that was. I think could that have been like the sixth, seventh song? Well, I think it was the third song I started writing. Yeah, I think that was one of the third song I wrote the lyrics for, and well, it has a lot of energy. And it has, well, doesn't sound aggressive. That's the wrong word. It's hard to explain in English. Could do it in Swedish. That's easier, but no one would understand. It is a really cool song, and it has a lot of attitude. So I felt that it should the lyrics and it needs to be something with attitude as well to add up to it. So hence the whole social media society climate about being perfect all the time with this really unrealistic goals that we're supposed to strive for. That's just not possible, and it's making a lot of people feel really, really bad. But I really like I love the energy in that song. So yeah, and it was pretty obvious somehow and cool, closer to the album.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've had a chance to talk to some guests, and we talked about track listings on their releases. Like, it was a very intentional that you started with this song and you end with this song. And I agree with you 100% that this song really just like slams the door home with the album. Like, and you want to make you want to go back to song one and listen to it all over again.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yes, it's a very good thing. You did a really smart job in terms of what songs go where, and then ending it with that one, because it ends on a high note.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so it sounds like when you were coming together and working on these songs and recording them, that was there ever there's that word again, intention to make this beyond a project, or like were you thinking we want this to be a band and we're going to get some other musicians, or was like we're just going to do this and see what happens with it?
Jag var inte riktigt med vad han snackade om.
No. It was pretty early. I mean, we started this basically without any intentions. It was mostly just for the fun of it.
Let's see, were you guys having some audio issues on your end, like I was?
It was going like black, shutting off and on. It seems.
Yeah. Seems like you're back now. I'm sorry. Yeah, what you were explaining during that time, it sounded like robot talk. I couldn't actually hear what you had said.
Well, that's just my normal. That's just how I sound. No.
Do you mind repeating what you were saying, Tezzi?
No, yeah, sure. I mean, we started out as a duo, and we didn't really have any intentions because we didn't really expect things to happen so fast. So we didn't have time to think about anything before just like, okay, we need to complete an album. But we started mentioning pretty early that it would be really fun to do live performance with this. And that's a problem if there's just two of us. But we didn't really discuss it further until, for real, until it was time now to release the album. Then we started to discuss the whole thing, more intense. That we would really, really, really want to do this, bring this to the stage. So I guess it was there all along somehow, but not decided. It was kind of floating in the air. Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like it was very organic. Like you said, you had no intentions. We're just going to do this. We like the music. We want to, work on it, and then just kind of see where it goes. And then it obviously went quite far because now someone in Seattle is talking to you about it. So
it's
very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A bit mind-blowing and at times overwhelming, but in a good way, in a really good way. We are so grateful for the amazing response we've received with this album.
Yeah, it's been getting great notices, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a really strong album. Sometimes things get released and there's like strong songs, kind of so-so songs in it, but this one's like from top to bottom. It's like the whole thing is really, really strong.
Wow! Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for making it.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
And I know the album just came out a little over a month ago in April. And are there like bits and pieces of other songs you kind of have in the works for an eventual album number 2?
Yeah, we do actually. We've already started. Jonas started writing tracks and sent them to me, so I have something to listen to and look at and start working with. Right now, though, it's been a bit put on hold, just like for a little time being, because we're rehearsing the album to be able to play it. But we're definitely aiming for album number 2. And I mean, why stop here? This collaboration is a lot of fun.
Easy.
It's easy. It's relaxed. We have a lot of fun together and work very well together. So we don't see any reason of stopping here with just one album. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's great news for all the fans out there, including myself, that this is something that's going to move forward. And it's also great that you're just having so fun and so easy to collaborate with each other. You kind of know, and as musicians, that when you find the right people, you want to hang on to them.
Definitely. You don't want to let them go.
Yeah, because it's so hard. Because sometimes you find good people, they're competent with their instrument or their voice, but then there's the chemistry is not quite right. But then when you find everything and it just kind of clicks, you're like, yes, let's keep moving forward with this.
Yeah, definitely, and that's where we also. I mean, you mentioned the whole band question earlier. So we said like, we want to do this live. We want to bring in musicians to actually form a band so we can play. But when it comes to writing, it works so well. So we're like, okay, let's just keep it at the writing process between us. That we will be the core of it, and then to be able to play, well of course we need additional musicians. But like you said, when you find someone you work really well with, you don't want to make it complicated. So let's just stick to that.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me. And as you were saying that you've been rehearsing the album for some eventual shows, I mean, maybe it's too early to tell, but are there any things kind of in the works, like for summer or for fall or a live stream or both?
We are mostly preparing to be able to do it. Possibly, we don't have anything confirmed yet, but we do have ideas, and we have some mail correspondence to try to get some additional first gig happening. But other than that, we've been talking about maybe some kind of live stream or record a live video. One way or another, we're eager to do this. So we don't know how much patience we'll have to just sit and wait until it's possible. So a live stream or something like that is not a bad substitute. And while we're waiting.
Okay, yeah, and again, it makes perfect sense that you're kind of looking, you're preparing, to be, if you get that green light to go do a live show somewhere, that you can do it, and if not, then it's like, well, we can always do it. This rehearsal thing it can pay off in a live stream setting then, so that everything just kind of moves forward with what you want to do, and yeah, hopefully you get there. We get there sooner than later, that you can perform live in front of a live audience and people, and the energy exchange and all.
That would be so cool. Well, for now, I mean, we're just rehearsing. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's almost like exotic to see a microphone, because it's been a year of no gigs. So it's like, it's a microphone. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm not sure. I don't remember. So just like be together and rehearse and play music with other people is amazing feeling. I've been missing that a lot.
Yeah, and you said it well, that here you are just in the rehearsal part, that it feels so good to be, in front of a microphone and with other musicians and playing songs, and then you throw that audience in there. It's like, whoa, it's gonna
be intense.
Yeah,
in a good way, in a very good way.
Yeah, there's going to be, I think, some amazing gigs for bands all across the world when they finally get to be back out there in a full capacity situation in front of an audience.
Yeah, I think everyone's longing to just to go see a show, or just to actually be able to be among people again, without having to watch out and be scared or yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be some amazing shows for sure, I think.
Yeah, and so beyond rehearsing and a potential, in-person shows or a live stream, are there any other videos in the works that might be coming out to help promote the album?
Not what we know.
Okay.
No plans. We haven't had any discussions about that for the moment. So probably not, but I don't dare to say it won't happen, because maybe it will. But right now we don't know any plans about that.
Okay, and I'm just curious for both of you, as you've been doing the rehearsals for these eventual shows, what's one song that's really, really coming together in the rehearsal space that you personally love performing?
What's your favorite?
I think Wasteland.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. I think Wasteland and We Are One was a really cool song to rehearse as well, to feel like the full power for real. And it's so much fun to sing these songs. I've basically sung them just once while recording them, so it's fun to be able to sing them again some more. But yeah, Wasteland and We Are One. Actually, everyone's fun to rehearse, but
we rehearsal 2 times, I think.
Yeah, 2 rehearsals. We have seven songs down.
7 songs.
Yeah, 2 new more for the next rehearsal. But yeah, I think We Are One was really cool to feel the whole power of playing that.
Okay, great. And so as you do more rehearsals, is the plan to rehearse all 11 songs then from the album?
yeah, figured just do but since that's all the songs we have for the moment, so we figured why not do them all. Maybe someone that would be sad to be left out, just one or two. No, so yeah, the whole album.
That's great, and yeah, I'm picturing you playing a show in front of an audience, and you've got all 11 songs in the set, and then maybe you throw in that Clean Strike cover or something as kind of a little bonus.
That would be really, really cool.
If you dare.
Yeah, I need to collect some courage for that, but then let's go, let's do it.
I'm sure it will be good.
Yeah, I think it would be amazing. So, but I'll leave that obviously to both of you to figure out if you ever actually want to do that.
I'm gonna be sleepless now. Like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into now?
Well, Tezzi and Jan, thank you so much for taking the time today. And the album's awesome out there. So everybody, if you haven't had a chance to listen to it, go buy it right now. And it's been available for about a month. And again, I would love to reconnect with you if you get to that live stream stage or an actual show stage to help promote it again, and come back on here and we can do part 2.
Definitely, anytime. It was our pleasure. Had a really nice time here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and have a good night over there.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.